My dearest sister Margaret, so strange an accident has happened to us that I cannot forbear recording it, although it is very probable that you will see me before these papers come into your possession. Last Monday, we were nearly surrounded by ice, which closed the ship in on all sides, and we were compassed round by a very thick fog. About 2 o'clock, the mist cleared away. We perceived a low carriage fixed on a sledge and drawn by dogs pass on towards the north at the distance of about a half a mile. A being which had the shape of a man, but apparently of gigantic stature, sat in the sledge and guided by the dogs. We watched the rapid progress of the traveler until he was lost among the ice. About 2 hours after this occurrence, the ice broke away and freed our ship. In the morning, I went up on the deck and found all the sailors on one side of the vessel apparently talking to someone in the sea. It was, in fact, a sledge, like the one we had seen before, which had drifted towards us in the night on a large fragment of ice.
Here is Captain Lawton, and he shall not let you perish in the open sea. Before I come aboard your vessel, will you have the kindness to tell me whither I am bound?
We are on a voyage of discovery to the North Pole.
Why have you come so far upon the ice in so strange a vehicle?
To seek one who fled from me.
And the one you seek, did you travel in the same manner?
Yes. Then I fancy we have seen him, for the day we picked you up, we saw dogs drawing a sledge with a man in it across the ice. Which way did the demon take?
Please, leave us. Give us our guests some room.
I have doubtless excited your curiosity, as well as that of these good people. But you are too considerate to make inquiries.
Certainly. It would be inhuman and impertinent of me to trouble you with my inquisitiveness.
And yet you rescued me from a strange and perilous situation. You have benevolently restored me to life. Do you think the breaking up of the ice destroyed the other sledge?
Of that I cannot be certain, for the ice broke up after midnight. Perhaps the traveler found a haven of safety before this occurrence, but of that I cannot judge.
So you seek the North Pole?
Yes, but the closer we get, the more dangerous it becomes. But I would gladly give my fortune, my existence, my every hope to the furtherance of this enterprise. One life, one death, would be but a small price to pay for the acquirement of the knowledge that I seek.
Unhappy man, do you share my madness? Have you drunk also from the intoxicating draught? Hear me. Let me reveal my tale, and you will dash the cup from your lips. You may easily perceive, Captain Walton, that I have suffered great and unparalleled misfortunes. I had determined that the memory of these evils should die with me. That you have won me to alter my determination. You seek wisdom and knowledge as I once did. And I ardently hope that the gratification of your wishes does not become a serpent to sting you, as mine has been.
If the telling of this tale will ease your pain, please.
I thank you for your sympathy, but it is useless. My fate is nearly fulfilled. I wait but for one event, then I shall repose in peace. Now I won't delve too deeply into my history. Only know at the age of 17, my parents resolved that I become a student at the University of Ingolstadt. When I arrived, I met several stuffy old professors who ridiculed my past work. One, Monsieur Walton, took me under his wing and advised that I focus my studies in chemistry. This decided my future destiny. After some time studying life, death, and decay, I saw how the fine form of man was degraded and wasted. I paused, examining and analyzing the minutiae of causation as exemplified in the change from life to death and death to life, until from the midst of darkness, a sudden light broke in upon me. I became capable of bestowing animation upon lifeless matter. I see by your eagerness, my friend, that you expect to be informed of the secret. This cannot be. The dissecting room in the slaughterhouse furnished most of my materials. I brought my work to a near conclusion. It was a dreary November night when I beheld the accomplishment of my toils. Like one who on a lonely road doth walk in fear and dread, and having once turned round, turns no more his head, for he knows a frightful fiend doth close behind him tread.
My dear Frankenstein, how glad I am to see you. How fortunate that you should be here at the moment of my alighting.
My dearest Clairvaux, what are you doing here?
You may easily believe how great was the difficulty to persuade my father that not all necessary knowledge was comprised in the noble art of bookkeeping. But I believe I left him incredulous to the last, for his constant answer to my unvaried entreaties was always no. But his affection for me at length overcame his dislike of learning, and he has permitted me to undertake a voyage of discovery to the land of knowledge.
It is great to see you here, my dear Henry. But tell me what of my father, my siblings, and Elizabeth?
Very well, very happy, though a little uneasy that they hear from you so seldom. By the by, I mean to lecture you on their account myself. But my dear Frankenstein, I did not before remark of how ill you appear. So thin and pale. You look as if you have been watching for several nights.
You have guessed right. I lately have been so deeply engaged in one occupation that I have not allowed myself sufficient rest, as you see. But I hope, I sincerely hope, that all these employments will be at an end, and I will be at length free.
My dear Victor, what for God's sake is the matter? Do not speak in this manner. How ill you are. What is the cause of all this?
Do not ask me. He can tell. Oh, save me! Save me!
been months since you've been in this state, awakening, maddened, and feverish. Come back to us. I've lied to your father and sweet Elizabeth long enough.
My dearest Clairvaux, how kind, how very good you are to me. This whole winter, instead of being spent in your study as you promised yourself, has lately been so deeply consumed with me, my sick room. How shall I ever repay you? I feel the greatest remorse of the disappointment I have been of the occasion. But you will forgive me.
You will repay me entirely if you do not discompose yourself. But get well as fast as you can. And since you seem in such high spirits, I may speak on a subject, may I not?
No.
Compose yourself. I will not mention it if it agitates you, but your father and cousin would be very happy to receive a letter from you in your own handwriting. They hardly know how ill you have been and are uneasy at your long silence.
Is that all, my dear Henry? How could you suppose that my first thought would not fly to those dear friends whom I love, who are so deserving of my love?
If this is your present temper, my friend, then you will be happy to see a letter that has been lying here for you for some days. It is from your cousin, I believe.
My dearest cousin, you have been ill, very ill. And even the constant letters of dear kind Henry are not sufficient to reassure me on your account. Yet, that is over now. Clairvaux writes that you indeed are getting better. I eagerly hope that you will confirm this intelligence soon, in your own handwriting. Get well, and return to us. You will find a happy, cheerful home, and friends who love you dearly. Your father's health is vigorous, and he asks but to see you. Justine has returned to us as a caretaker for little darling Mary. I wish you could see her. She is very tall of her age. Write, dearest Victor. One line, one word would be a blessing to us. Elizabeth.
My dear Elizabeth, I will write instantly and relieve them from the anxiety they must feel. I wrote asking when I could return to Geneva. I explained in the letter that I wanted to spend some time with Clairvaux at the university, so that he could get to know the people and professors before I left him alone. Summer passed away in these occupations, and my trip was fixed for the latter end of autumn. But being delayed by several accidents, winter and snow arrived, and my journey was retarded until the ensuing spring. I waited eagerly for a letter from my father to fix the date of my departure. Clairvaux and I spent a fortnight in the Ingolstadt countryside so that I could say my farewells. On my return, I found this letter from my father. My dear Victor, you have probably waited impatiently for a letter to fix the date of your return to us. And how, Victor, can I relate our misfortune? I know even now your eye skims over the page to seek the words which are to convey the horrible tidings. Mary is dead. Victor, she is murdered. Last Thursday we went on a walk. Mary and Ernest were out playing hide and seek. We rested and awaited their return. Ernest returned after vainly seeking Mary. We were alarmed, and Elizabeth conjectured that she might have returned to the house. She was not there. We returned with torches, for I could not rest. I discovered my lovely girl, stretched on the grass, livid and motionless. The print of the murderer's finger was on her neck. Come, dearest Victor. You alone can console Elizabeth. Enter the house of mourning as a friend, with kindness and affection for those who love you, and not with hatred for your enemies. Alphonse Frankenstein.
My dear Frankenstein, Are you always to be unhappy? My friend, what has happened? I have no consolation, my dear friend. Your disaster is irreparable. What do you intend to do?
To go instantly to Geneva. Come with me, Henry, to order the horses. Mary, my dear angel, this is thy funeral, this thy dirge. What did he there? Could he be the murderer of my sister? Nothing in human shape could have destroyed that fair child. He is the murderer, I cannot doubt it.
I wish you had come 3 months ago. Then you would have found us all joyous and delighted. Poor Mary, she was our darling and our pride.
And what of father and Elizabeth?
She most of all requires consolation. She accused herself of having caused the death of my sister, and that made her very wretched. But since the murder has been discovered,
The murderer discovered? Good God, how could that be? Who could attempt to pursue him? It is impossible. One might as well try to overcome winds or confine a mountain stream with a straw. I saw him. He was free last night.
I do not know what you mean, but to us the discovery we have made completes our misery. No one would believe at first. Not even Elizabeth would be convinced. Notwithstanding all the evidence, who could credit that Justine Morris, who was so amiable and so fond of all the family, could suddenly become so capable of so frightful, so appalling a crime?
Justine Moritz. Poor girl. Is she the accused? But it is wrongfully. Everyone knows that. Surely nobody believes it, Ernest.
No one did at first, but several circumstances came out that have almost caused conviction upon us. And her own behavior has been so confused as to add to all the evidence await that I fear leaves no hope for doubt. But she will be tried today. In her pocket a piece of jewelry with a picture of our mother was found that has been judged the temptation of the murder.
You are mistaken. Justine, poor good Justine, is innocent.
Your arrival, my dear cousin, fills me with hope. Perhaps you can find some means to justify my poor, innocent Justine. Alas, who is safe if she be convicted of crime?
She is innocent, my Elizabeth, and that shall be proven. Let your spirits be cheered by the assurance of her acquittal.
How kind and generous you are. For when everyone else believed in her guilt, that made me wretched. For I knew it was impossible. And to see everyone else prejudiced in so deadly a manner rendered me hopeless and despairing.
Dry your tears. If she is innocent, let the justice of our laws prove it, and the activity with which I shall prevent the slightest bit of partiality.
We need to be going. Her trial is about to commence.
would like to call Justine Moritz to the stand.
God knows how entirely I am innocent, but I do not pretend that my protestations should acquit me. I rest my innocence on a plain and simple explanation of the facts that have been adduced against me. And I hope the character I've always borne will incline my judges to a favorable interpretation with any circumstance that seems doubtful or suspicious.
Please, proceed.
With the permission of Miss Elizabeth, I passed the night on which the murder had been committed at the house of my aunt at Shen. Upon my return at about 9 o'clock, I met a man who asked if I had seen anything of Mary, who was lost. I was alarmed by this and spent several hours searching for her. When the gates of Geneva were shut, I was forced to spend most of the night in a barn belonging to a cottage. I spent most of the night watching, but towards morning I believe I slept for a few minutes. Some steps disturbed me and I awoke. I can give no account of the picture. I know how heavily and fatally this weighs against me, but I have no power of explaining it. And when I have expressed my utter ignorance, I am only left to conjecture concerning the probabilities on which it had been placed in my pocket. Did the murderer place it there? What is the result?
It is as you may have expected. All judges, rather than 10 innocent, should suffer, than one guilty should escape. But she has confessed.
Alas, how shall I ever again believe in human goodness? Justine, whom I loved as my sister, how could she put on innocent smiles only to betray? Her mild eyes seemed incapable of any severity or guile, and yet she has committed a murder.
The guilty would like to see.
Yes, I will go, although she is guilty. And you, Victor, shall accompany me, for I cannot go alone. Oh, Justine, how could you rob me of my last consolation? I relied on your innocence. And although I was then very wretched, I am not so miserable as I am now. And do you also believe that I am so very, very wicked? Do you join with my enemies to crush me, to condemn me as a murderer? Rise, my poor girl, why do you kneel if you are innocent? I am not one of your enemies. I believed you guiltless, notwithstanding every evidence, until you had yourself declared your guilt. That report you say is false. And be assured, dear Justine, that nothing can shake my confidence in you for a moment, but your own confession. I did confess, but I confessed a lie. I confessed that I might obtain absolution. In an evil hour, what was I to do? I subscribed to a lie. And not only am I truly miserable, dear Mary, dearest blessed child, I soon will see you again, where we shall all be happy. And that consoles me, as I'm going to suffer ignominy and death. Why did you confess? Do not mourn, dear girl, do not fear. I will proclaim, I will prove your innocence, you shall not die. No, no. I cannot survive so horrible a misfortune. I do not fear to die. That pang is past. I am resigned to the fate awaiting me. Dear sir, you are very kind to visit me. You, I hope, do not believe I'm guilty. No, Justine. He was more convinced of your innocence than I was. For when he had heard you confess, he did not credit it. And I truly thank him. It removes more than half my misfortune. And I feel as if I could die in peace, now that my innocence has been acknowledged by you, dear lady, and your cousin. I wish I were to die with you. I can no longer live in a world full of misery. Farewell, sweet lady, dearest Elizabeth, my beloved and only friend. May this be the last misfortune you ever suffer. Live and be happy, and make others so.
Why did I stay silent? This was my doing. I beheld those I loved spend vain sorrow upon the graves of Mary and Justine, the first hapless victims of my unhallowed arts. Sometimes I could cope with the soul despair that overwhelmed me. But sometimes the whirlwind passions drove my soul to seek some relief from the intolerable sensations. I left my home. My journey was directed towards the valley of Chamonix. Wandering spirits, if indeed ye wander and do not rest in your narrow beds, grant me this faint happiness, or take me as your companion away from the joys of life. Devil, do you dare approach me, and do you not fear the fierce vengeance of my arm wrecked upon your miserable head? Begone, vile insect, or rather stay, that I may trample you, and know that I could, with the extinction of your miserable existence, restore those victims who you so diabolically murdered.
I expected this reception. All men hate the wretched. How then must I be hated, who am miserable beyond all living things? Yet you, my Creator, detest and spurn me, thy creature, to whom thou art bound by ties only dissoluble by the annihilation of one of us. You purpose to kill me. How dare you sport thus with life? Do your duty towards me, and I will do mine towards you and the rest of mankind. If you will comply with my conditions, I will leave them and you at peace. If you refuse, I will glut the maw of death, till it be satiated with the blood of your remaining friends.
Abhorred monster, fiend that thou art, the tortures of hell are too mild a vengeance for thy crimes. You reproach me with your creation. Come on then, that I may extinguish the spark which I so negligently bestowed.
Calm. I entreat you to hear me before you give vent to your hatred upon my devoted head. Have I not suffered enough that you seek to increase my misery? Remember, thou hast made me more powerful than thyself. I am thy creature, and I will be even mild and docile to my natural Lord and King, if thou will also perform thy part. Oh, Frankenstein, be not equitable to every other, and trample upon me alone, to whom thy justice is most due. Remember, I am thy creature. I ought to be thy Adam, but I am rather the fallen angel, whom thou drivest from joy for no misdeed. Everywhere I see bliss, from which I alone am irrevocably excluded. I was benevolent and good. Misery made me a fiend. Make me happy, and I shall again be virtuous.
Begone. I will not hear you. There can be no community between you and me. We are enemies. Begone, or let us try our strength in a fight, in which one must fall.
How can I move thee? You, my creator, abhor me. What hope can I gather from your fellow creatures who owe me nothing? Shall I then hate them that abhor me? It is in your power to recompense me and deliver them from an evil from which it only remains for you to make so great. Let thy compassion be moved, and do not disdain me. Yet I ask that you not spare me. Listen to me, and then, if you can, and if you will, destroy the work of your hands.
Why you call to my remembrance circumstances in which I shudder to reflect, in which I have been the miserable origin and author. Abhorred monster, curse the day you ever saw light. Begone and relieve me from the sight of your detested form.
Thus I relieve thee, my creator. Thus I take from thee the sight which you abhor. Still canst thou listen to me and grant me thy compassion? Hear my tale. It is long and strange. Come to the hut upon the mountain. The sun is yet high in the heavens, and before it descends to hide itself beyond your snowy precipices and illuminate another world, you will have heard my story and can decide. On you it rests, whether I forever quit the neighborhood of man and lead a harmless life, or become the scourge of your fellow creatures and the author of your own speedy ruin.
Oui, je sais, ma douce. Et nous allons survivre comme toujours.
Ce sera heureux. Oui, papa.
Oui, mon fils.
Qui a fait ça?
Agatha.
C'est petite frère?
Non.
Est-ce que tu passes-moi du pain? Bread?
Bread.
Mary for milk? Father?
Milk. Father.
We're going on a walk, Father.
We won't be gone too long.
Have fun, children. Don't worry about me. Who is that? Come in.
Pardon this intrusion. I am a traveler and wanted a little rest. You would oblige me greatly if you would allow me to remain a few minutes before the fire.
Enter, and I will try in what manner I can to relieve your wants. But unfortunately, my children are away from home. And as I am blind, I shall find it difficult to procure food for them.
Do not trouble yourself, my kind host. I have food. It is warmth and rest only that I need.
By your language, stranger, I suppose you are my countryman. Are you French?
No, but I was educated by a French family and understand that language only. I'm now going to claim the protection of some friends whom I sincerely love, and of whose favor I have some hopes.
And are they Germans?
No, they are French. But let us change the subject. I'm an unfortunate and deserted creature. Around, and have no relation or friend upon earth. These amiable people to whom I go have never seen me, and know little of me. I am full of fears, for if I fail there, I am an outcast in the world forever.
Do not despair. To be friendless is indeed unfortunate. But the hearts of men, when unprejudiced by any sort, boundaries of any kind, they are full of charity and love. Rely, therefore, on your hopes. And if these friends are good and amiable, do not despair.
They are kind. They are the most excellent creatures in the world. But unfortunately, they are prejudiced against me. I have good dispositions. My life hitherto has been harmless, and to some degree beneficial. But a fatal prejudice clouds their eyes, and where they ought to see a feeling and kind friend, we behold only a detestable monster.
That is indeed unfortunate. But if you are really blameless, cannot you undeceive them?
I'm about to undertake that task. And it is on that account that I feel so many overwhelming terrors. I genuinely love these friends. I have, unknown to them, been for many months in the habits of daily kindnesses towards them. But they believe that I wish to injure them. And it is that prejudice that I wish to overcome.
these friends reside?
Near this spot.
Well, if you will unreservedly confide to me the particulars of your tale, I perhaps may be of use in undeceiving them. I'm blind and cannot judge of your countenance, but there is something in your words which persuades me that you are sincere. I'm poor, and an exile, so it would afford me true pleasure to be in any way serviceable to a human creature.
Excellent man. I thank you and accept your generous offer. You raised me from the dust with this kindness, and I trust that by your aid, I shall not be driven from the society and sympathy of your fellow creatures.
Oh, heaven forbid, even if you were really criminal, for that could only lead you to desperation, and not instigate you to virtue. I too am unfortunate. I and my family have been condemned, although innocent. Judge, therefore, if I do not feel for your misfortunes.
How can I ever thank you? My best and only benefactor. From your lips first have I heard the voice of kindness directed towards me, and I shall be forever grateful. And your present humanity assures me of success with these friends, whom I am on the point of meeting.
May I know the names and residences of these friends?
Now is the time. Save and protect me. You and your family are the friends whom I seek. Do not desert me in the hour of trial.
Great God, who are you?
No! No!
You monster!
You promised! No! Ah! Ah!
I can quickly gather our things. Father, we must quit this place.
You will never see your father again. You must come with me and be my friend.
Hideous monster, let me go. My papa is a syndic. He is Monsieur Frankenstein. He will punish you. You dare not keep.
Frankenstein, you belong then to my enemy, to him towards whom I have sworn eternal revenge. You shall be my first victim. Awake, fairest. Thy lover is near. dear. Him who would give his life but to obtain one look of affection from thine eyes. My beloved, wait. I am alone and miserable. Man will not associate with me. One as deformed and horrible as myself would not deny himself to me. My companion must be of the same species and have the same defects. This being you must make. This you alone can do, and I demand it of you as a right which you must not refuse to concede.
I do refuse it, and no torture shall ever extort a consent from me. You may render me the most miserable of men, but you will never make me base in my own eyes. Shall I create another like yourself, whose joint wickedness may desolate the world? Begone. I have answered you. You may torture me, but I will never consent.
You are in the wrong, and instead of threatening, I am content to reason with you. I am malicious because I am miserable. What I ask is reasonable and moderate. I demand a creature of another sex, but as hideous as myself, and it shall content me. Do not deny my request. If you consent, neither you nor any other human being will ever see us again.
You propose to fly from the habitations of man, to dwell in the wilds where the beasts of the fields will be your only companions? You will return, and again seek their kindness. I know you will. And you will meet with their detestation, and your evil passions will be renewed, and you will have a companion to aid in your task of destruction. This cannot be. Cease to argue the point.
I swear to you, by the earth that I inhabit, and by you that made me, that with the companion you bestow, I will quit the neighborhood of man, and dwell as it may chance in the most savage of places. My evil passions will have fled, for I shall be met with sympathy. My life will flow quietly away, and in my dying moments, I will not curse my Maker.
You promise to be harmless, but have you not already shown a degree of malice in which I should reasonably distrust you?
I must not be trifled with. I demand an answer.
I consent to your demand, on your solemn oath to quit Europe forever, and every other place in the neighborhood of man, as soon as I shall deliver into your hands a female who shall accompany you in your exile.
I swear by the sun, and by the blue sky of heaven, and by the fire of love that burns my heart, that if you grant my prayer, you will never see me again. Depart to your home. I shall watch your progress with unutterable anxiety. And do not fear that when you are ready, I shall appear.
Oh, stars, clouds, and winds, ye are all about to pity me. What if ye mock me, crush sensation and memory, and make me as not, but if not, depart, depart and leave me in darkness.
I am happy to remark you are resuming your former pleasures, and seem to be returning objectors to the cause of this. But yesterday an idea struck me, and if it is well founded, I conjure to avow it. I confess, I've always looked forward to our marriage. Perhaps you've met another woman whom you may love. And considering yourself bound to me, the struggle may occasion the poignant misery which you appear to feel.
My dear Elizabeth, reassure yourself. I love you tenderly and sincerely. I have never met any woman who excited as you do. My warmest admiration and affection, my future prospects and hopes are completely bound up in the expectation of our union.
This gives me more pleasure for I have some time experience. If you feel thus, we shall assuredly be happy. Tell me there whether you object to the immediate solemnization of the marriage.
I do object to it being immediate. I have business to tend to. I need to travel. I will be gone a month or two, at most a year.
But Victor, every time you've gone away, you return to me miserable and despondent. Don't go.
I must. And when I return, I promise we will be wed immediately.
Henry will go with you then. No arguments. He will make sure you are well taken care of. Hurry home, dear Victor.
I thank you for traveling with me for these months, Henry. But I wish to make the tour of Scotland alone. Enjoy yourself and let this be our rendezvous. I will be gone a month or two. But do not interfere with my motions. I entreat you to leave me in peace and solitude. And when I return, I hope it will be with a lighter heart and more congenial to your own temper.
I would much rather be with you in your solitary rambles than with these Scottish people, for whom I don't know. But hasten then, my dear friend, to return, so that I may again feel at home, which I cannot do in your absence.
Did you get anything today?
Did he snatch the earrings from that woman's head? She really didn't worth anything.
I didn't get anything. Seems like everyone's got their money locked in the tight.
Good sirs, you seem like the perfect men for the task I'm about to undertake.
What do you think, Shader?
There's a house right where you can come.
Ah! You have destroyed the work that you began. you intend. Do you dare break your promise? Do you dare destroy my hopes?
I do break my promise. Never will I create another like yourself, equal in deformity and wickedness.
Slave, I before reasoned with you, but you have proved yourself unworthy of my condescension. Remember that I have power. You believe yourself miserable, but I can make you so wretched that the light of day be hateful to you. You are my creator, but I am your master. Obey!
The hour of my irresolution is past, and the period of your power has arrived. But your threats cannot move me to do an act of wickedness, but they confirm me in my determination not to create you a companion in vice. Begone! I am firm, and your words will only exasperate my rage.
Shall each man find a wife for his bosom, and each beast have his mate, and I be alone? Man, you may hate, but beware. You can blast my other passions, but revenge remains. Revenge, henceforth dearer than food or light. Man, you shall repent the injuries that you inflict.
Devil, cease, and do not poison the air with these sounds of malice. I have declared my resolution to you, and I am no coward to bend beneath words. Leave me. I'm inexorable.
It is well. I go. But remember, I shall be with you on your wedding night.
Villain, before you sign my death warrant, be sure that you yourself are safe. Victor, is that you? Have my murderous machinations deprived you also of the dear Henry of life? 2 I have already destroyed, and others await their destiny. But you, Clairvaux, my friend, my benefactor, you are sorrowful, my love. Ah, if only you knew what I have suffered, and what I yet may endure, you would endeavor to let me taste peace from freedom that this one day at least permits me to enjoy.
Be happy, my dear Victor. There is, I hope, nothing to distress you. But if the lively joy is impeded on my face, my heart is contented. Something whispers to me not to depend too much on the prospect that is open before us. But I will not listen to such a sinister voice. Oh, what a divine day! How happy and serene all nature appears.
Oh, peace, peace, my dear. This night all will be safe. But this night is dreadful, very dreadful.
Come to bed soon, Baker.
I pursued him, and for many months this has been my task. Guided by slight clues, sometimes indeed he left marks in writing on the barks of trees, or cut in stone, which excited and instigated my fury. Swear to me, Walton, that he shall not escape, and that you will seek him and satisfy my vengeance in his death. Alas, the strength I once relied on is now gone, and I feel that I shall soon die. Think not, in the last moments of my existence, do I feel the burning hatred and ardent desire of revenge, but I feel justified in desiring the death of my adversary. Farewell, Walton. Seek happiness and tranquility, and avoid ambition. But yet why do I say this? I myself have been blasted, but yet another may succeed.
You have read the strange and terrific story, Margaret, and do you not feel your blood congeal with horror, like that which now even curdles mine? Sometimes seized with sudden agony, he could not continue his tale. At others, his voice broken, yet piercing, uttered with difficulty the words so replete with anguish. Thus a week has passed, while I have listened to the strangest tale ever imagination formed. I fear you may never read this letter, as we are trapped amongst mountains of ice. I have consented to return if we are not destroyed. I am interrupted. What do these sounds portend? It comes from the cabin where the remains of Frankenstein lie. I must arise and examine. Good night, my sister.
That is also my victim. In his murder, my crimes were consummated. The miserable series of my being is wound to its close. Oh, Frankenstein, generous and self-devoted being, what does it avail that I now ask thee to pardon me? I, who irretrievably destroyed thee by destroying all thou lovest. Alas, he is cold. He cannot answer me.
Your repentance is superfluous. If you had listened to the voice of conscience and heeded the stings of remorse before you unleashed your diabolical vengeance to this extremity, Frankenstein would yet have lived!
And do you dream? Do you think that I was then dead to agony and remorse? consummation of the deed, not the 10,000th portion of the misery that was mine in the lingering details of its execution. Think you that the groans of Clerval were music to my ears? The completion of my demoniacal designs became an insatiable passion. And now it is ended. There's my last victim. Wretch!
It is well that you come to whine over the desolation that you have caused. Hypocritical fiend!
It is not thus. It is not thus. I seek not a fellow feeling in misery. No sympathy may I ever find. I cannot believe that I am the same creature whose thoughts were once filled with the sublime and transcendent visions of the beauty and majesty of goodness. But it is even so. The fallen angel becomes the malignant devil. Yet even that enemy of God and man had friends and associates in his desolation. I am alone! Yet it is true that I am a witch. I have murdered the lonely and the helpless. Do not fear that I will be the instrument of further mischief. I shall quit your vessel on the ice raft that brought me thither and seek the most northern extremities of the globe. I shall collect my funeral pile and consume to ashes this miserable frame, that its remains may offer no light to any curious or unhallowed wretch who would create another such as I have been. Farewell. I leave you. And in the last of humankind, whom these eyes will ever behold, farewell, Frankenstein. Farewell,